Hello and welcome to Space News. Today we're going to talk about the Stratolaunch performing its first powered Talon flight. We have the large outer vehicle, which contains a smaller rocket-powered vehicle that we're going to get into down below. So what is this? This is the Rock aircraft with the Talon TA-1 vehicle attached between its fuselages. This took off March 9th, so from the Mojave Air and Spaceport in California. And Stratolaunch, what can we find out about this company? It is interested in hypersonic testing. This is both for vehicles and potentially missile, military applications. Our air-launched platforms enable routine access to the hypersonic environment. We have a look-see here at that air-launch platform, this Stratolaunch aircraft. Achieve rapid technology development. Advanced national imperative, quite defense focused. Here we see this Stratolaunch rocket-powered vehicle connected to the bottom of the ROC aircraft. We'll carry on with the article. I guess let's see if they have anything interesting in terms of are they private? Stratolaunch IPO? I am curious. I don't think so. I believe it. Yeah, it's a private company that performs flight test services. That's their product. They're also getting into designing and developing their own. So it's a bit confusing because they have two vehicles here. They have the carrier and then they also have the rocket-powered vehicle as well. Is that considered flight testing? I guess it depends what you're interested in testing at hypersonic speeds. So the Talon A vehicle, designated TA-1, took off attached to the company's ROC aircraft from the Mojave Air and Spaceport in California at 10 yesterday. Outside is the ROC aircraft. On the inside is the Talon A hypersonic rocket. The plane flew west to a location in the Pacific off the central California coast where it released TA-1 at an unspecified time. ROC returned to Mojave more than 4 hours after takeoff. So it went quite far over the California coast before actually dispensing of its payload, the TA-1, and then turning around. Stratolaunch executives said in a call with reporters that they could not disclose the top speed or altitude of the TA-1 on its flight, citing proprietary agreements with unspecified customers. They were, though, satisfied with the flight. One thing you might want to test for at these speeds would be GPS systems, so you want to make sure that if you are providing attitude and GPS hardware that you might want to sell to rocket companies, satellite companies, whatever, you want to make sure that that hardware works at these hypersonic speeds. So it's a good test. I don't know what else they could be possibly testing at this point. Make sure that let's say you have a guidance control system or a guidance system for a rocket, you want to make sure that it's making the right decisions even at hypersonic speed, so this could be a valuable test for that. As part of our successful achievement of the test objectives, we did reach that hypersonic regime approaching hypersonic flight, said the president and chief executive of Stratolaunch. Hypersonic flight is typically defined as speeds higher than Mach 5. So they achieved Mach 5. Let's have a look at the video together. It was a lovely descent. The plane fell with its nose down and very quickly. You can see its nose is down, and then it very, very quickly leveled itself out. So very nice, nicely controlled. And then once it achieved stability, it fired its rockets, and off we go. Aaron Casimir, Senior Vice President of Engineering, said that the Talon achieved its major test objectives, including release from the ROC and ignition of its engine. Sustained acceleration and climb through hypersonic speeds while maintaining control, then decelerating and gliding onto an open ocean splashdown. The Talon, an expendable vehicle, was not recovered. So these Talons are unlike the rocket companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are not building vehicles that can be reused. So overall, they're very, very pleased with how the Talon performed. So they achieved their objectives. They fired the engines. They are well positioned to continue their planned test series. The next vehicle, the TA-2, will be a reusable hypersonic vehicle. It's scheduled to begin flight tests in the second half of the year with another reusable vehicle, TA-3, under construction. Stratolaunch is also modifying a Boeing 747, which they acquired in last year's Virgin Orbit bankruptcy auction. 3 companies to buy of most of Virgin Orbit's assets. Launcher, which is a launch vehicle company acquired by space station developer Vast in February, bid $2.7 million for their lease on a test site. There was also a bid from Stratolaunch and Rocket Lab. The three parties that purchased all of the assets from the bankruptcy for Virgin Orbit were Rocket Lab, Stratolaunch, and Launcher. Stratolaunch was founded more than a decade ago by Microsoft's co-founder Paul Allen with the initial goal of providing air launch services using a giant twin fuselage 6-engine aircraft. Twin fuselage with the centerpiece being for releasing the rocket-powered vehicle. Stratolaunch considered a variant of SpaceX's Falcon 9, a vehicle concept called Thunderbolt by Orbital ATK, which is now part of Northrop Grumman, and that company's existing but much smaller Pegasus XL rocket. It then started work on its own launch vehicle and engine. The company pivoted after the death of their leader Allen, which dropped plans for its own launch vehicle and was later sold to a private equity firm, Cerebus. The company announced in 2020 it would focus instead on developing hypersonic vehicles that would be air-launched by ROC. They went from a rocket design company to a hypersonic vehicle testing platform. The TA-1 flight was a milestone for Ursa Major Technologies, the company that developed the Hadley engine that powers the vehicle. So congratulations to Ursa Major. That engine, which uses a liquid oxygen and kerosene propellant mix, is designed to produce 5,000 pounds force of thrust. Raptor engine thrust is 670,000 pound force, so not in the same realm, 3 orders of magnitude above. The Hadley engine fired for about 200 seconds on that flight. The Hadley engine performed very well today and met all our expectations. Different, spin on space news. Usually we talk about rockets and satellites, but today we are talking about hypersonic vehicles. So congratulations to Stratolaunch and all involved. Let's meet up again tomorrow to talk more space news. Until then, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.